Record. Oh, and if things get like cut off like before, like where like the connection gets staticky, we'll just go from there, from where we left off.
Right. Sounds like a plan, pal.
All right. Well, on this episode of As We Proceed, we go ahead and figure out why Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion are public enemies number 1 and 2. We celebrate the return of one Aubrey Graham and all of his good old sports friends. We also go ahead and talk about some albums that we've been recommending to each other, would like to recommend to each other since we last recorded. And we finally learn how to pronounce that rapper whose name sounds like a Japanese cartoon. This is As We Proceed. I'm Feliciano Segundo.
And I'm Chris Maitland. This is a Soul Plane 2 brainstorming session disguised as a hip-hop podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so did you get my idea about the Bernie Mac hologram?
No, but that sounds in. I'm in.
I mean, it's incredible. But this is the thing. I know what you're thinking. How are we going to get the dialogue? No, he's mute. So it's just like the aura of Bernie Mac.
So he doesn't say anything. That was
it's Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac is a Bernie Mac hologram, and he's the mute pilot.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's transcendent and inclusive.
He speaks with his eyes.
Oh yeah, of course.
He was always known for that. Whenever his
very expressive face
dilated one way, that was 1 for no and 2 for bad.
Plus, particularly on the Bernie Mac show when he was doing the talking to the camera in the recliner, very expressive face.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, I think we could utilize that in the hologram, and while still being very respectful and not having to go through the problem of just like putting words in his mouth from the archives, from scenes from Head of State and Soul Men.
Are you sure you don't want to borrow my soundboard for Bernie Mac?
How many quotes from Mr. 3000 does it have?
We were able to kind of squeeze in a couple of them.
All right. If there's 5+ quotes of Mr. 3000, I will use that.
Oh, okay.
And at least one of them has to be during one of the many exchanges between him and Angela Bassett.
Exactly. No, it is. A lot of them are.
Oh, okay. That's perfect. Because that was his love interest in the film, so I would imagine that would be the case. But that's good. But I mean, like, so Bernie Mac hologram, you like it? Okay.
I like it. I think, honestly, instead of him being the pilot, it would be nice if he was the one, hijacking the plane. But I'll leave that up to you.
Well, why are we putting a hijack? This is a soul plane. It's supposed to be light and fun. No hijacking. Come on, man. Are you trying to make a gritty soul plane too?
Well, isn't that what they did on remember they parodied Soul Plane on the Boondocks that one time, and it was the Black Jacket.
I actually haven't seen that episode, but okay. Considering that Soul Plane was a light and fun film that featured the film leading role debut of Kevin Hart and a young Sofia Vergara as one of the flight attendants. Mm-hmm. That was a lighthearted affair. So
when did Soul Plane come out?
2004.
Wasn't Kevin Hart in Scary Movie before then?
No. Scary Movie 3 did come out before, but it wasn't a leading role.
Oh,
but I think he wasn't in Scary Movie. He was in Scary Movie 4, not 3.
No, I'm pretty sure he was in 3.
Was he in 3?
Him and Anthony Anderson. Remember they played?
I know. I remember them being in it, but I thought that was
Mile Lackeys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that was 3. You're right. No, I didn't. No. To be fair, I didn't say it was Kevin Hart's first role in a movie. It was his first leading role.
Okay. All right.
Because he was starting to like become a thing.
Right.
But by the way, it's also available on Netflix now in case you want to watch a comedy classic. Yes, as far as I know, last time I checked, it is still. I believe it is still on there. Go crazy, enjoy a nice piece of nostalgia, and Tom Arnold.
I was going to say that Tom Arnold cannot be associated with the concept of nostalgia.
No. And Godfrey's in it. Remember that guy? He was a really hilarious stand-up comedian who lasted for about 2 years. I don't think that name's been mentioned recently. He's not funny. No. But anyways, Soul Plane 2. Lisa and I are cooking that up, and you'll find. And we just have to mention that because just to in case you thought this was a hip hop podcast, we wanted to let you know what we were really doing here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So, man, I know it's been a while since we last recorded. We've had many albums been coming in since then. I know last time we were there was an issue that there were 0. It almost
we were in kind of a dry spell, but the last few months has kind of turned the tide on that, which is very good.
If there was an album or two that you recommend, since now that we've been locked down in quarantine.
All right. Well, I mean, I think the top one. I think this won't come as a surprise to really anybody, particularly if you listen to this podcast before. I would say Run the Jewels 4 came at the perfect time, early June. And it's really just an example of how much timeliness can impact a record in terms of its quality. Because in terms of the playbook, it's pretty similar for Run the Jewels. I mean, it's a combination of just ignorant hardcore hip hop and political hip hop with just Killer Mike and LP trading off fiery verses. But considering the topics they discuss and that the album came out about a week after George Floyd was killed, and just like all the topics with the systemic racism and police brutality and et cetera, and the things they touch on, and just like the corporate greed and whatnot. And it just like hearing an album about that, it was oddly comforting and exceptionally resonant, because it just reminded you of just how fucking evil these institutions are. And it was just that was just like, it really, really benefited from that release. And obviously it was coincidental. They didn't plan it. One thing that was very depressing is that people thought Walking in the Snow was a reaction to George Floyd's killing. I'm like, no. We recorded that in 2019 and it was referencing Eric Garner when I said I can't breathe.
Right.
And then people were like, oh no.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I knew that wasn't. I knew that wasn't the case when I heard the song for the first time, because the album was already done. It was already in the can, completed, mastered, and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it is still. It is oddly. It's very depressing that a reference to something that happened 4 or 5 years ago is still. I mean, like, and obviously it's been going on way longer than that. But it's just again, it's odd. This album could have come out in 1995 for fuck's sake, or 1985. And It's just, I mean, Public Enemy was talking about the same shit 35 years ago. So.
So are Run the Jewels our generation's Public Enemy?
I think absolutely. I mean, like, again, they fit all the bills. I mean, they're a politically charged group. They're angry, and there's more than one of them. They're a group, so they fit the bill. On a less serious note, my next record I would recommend that really impressed me was "Wanna" by Gunna. And while it did not have the aquatic atmosphere of Drip or Drown 2 that was very distinct and amazing, it is another great example of how Gunna has kind of found his own sound in like melodic trap that is really interesting, because he has a very mellow, laid back flow, but he still manages to write like really catchy hooks and has very interesting atmospheric production that just suits that style beautifully. A couple of really good guest verses on there as well from Young Thug and Roddy Ricch and Travis Scott. So it's just a really, again, if you're a Gunna fan, if the album came out late May, you probably heard it by now, but it's just another great record for Gunna, and I think he's solidifying himself as one of the better trap artists around. And finally, City Morgue, the infamous duo from New York, just dropped their latest EP, Toxic Boogaloo. And it's funny because their last record was kind of like a little bit more melodic, a little bit of a break here and there from the all the angst. But fittingly, they went back to just straight angst and straight rage for 10 tracks on this record. And it works beautifully. It's just like, there's something about like angsty shit is really great to hear right now. And just like really angsty, like two dudes rapping over like fucking sampled new metal guitars. Yeah. And I continue to be really impressed by how like heavy and authentic the guitars are, even though they are completely computerized. Like Thrax, their main producer, is really good at just finding these really like sinister, bouncy guitars, and Sasabula and Silikami are just really, really good at that shit. Again, it's great that like a potential new metal revival is on the horizon with rap right now with these guys. It's just great to see, and they hit a nice angsty chord per usual. And again, if you just want to listen to just pure ignorant trap metal, then go rip on that city, rip play on that City Morgue record.
Nice.
So how about you, my friends?
I've been looking to check out that new City Morgue record, mainly because I really like the entire movement that they've kind of created for themselves. It's very much their own little niche of hip hop that they've carved out. That, I mean, I haven't really seen any kind of artists besides them. And I mean, maybe some other guys. Like I know there's like some lesser known names, like what's his name, Nar? Is that his name, Nar?
I don't know who that is.
People that run around with like that whole like Dead Curry-ish.
Yeah, but like New York has a lot of like even like they're not exactly like City Morgue, but like, New York has a lot of like angry raw rappers right now.
Uh-huh.
I mean everybody from Flatbush to Rico Nasty. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just a lot of like really, really angry shit coming out of New York right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's all quality too.
Generally speaking, yeah, for sure. Minus 6'9".
Yeah. Yeah, I forget. Sometimes I forget that he's from New York. Isn't
Yeah,
that?
I mean, no, because Zilla Cami from City Morgue used to be his ghostwriter.
Oh, really?
And that's why he got a guy in Sasmula kind of sounds like 6'9", and I think that's the reason that he got him in the group.
Interesting.
I think that's a theory of mine.
Oh, it's not confirmed. Okay.
That is not confirmed. It is confirmed that he used to ghostwrite that he used to ghostwrite for.
Oh, cool.
6'9".
So. I mean, there really is. I can't really think of any project off the top of my head that I've like really thoroughly enjoyed. There've been some that I've just kind of like been very disappointed by. Like when like they'll come out and I'm like, man, this is really not what I thought it was going to be. One of them being that new it was a record by this artist named Kyle, Super Duper.
Oh yeah, of course.
That album was a little disappointing.
I haven't heard that yet. That's I'm disappointed to hear that because Light of Mine was a good record.
It was. This one was just kind of very much like self-serving and not exactly what I look for when I listen to his music. I mean, if there was an album that like I kept in rotation that was a little more surprising, it'd be that last release by Logic. Was it No Pressure?
I've heard it's, and that's supposed to be his final album, right? Because he's retiring to be a parent.
Yeah, apparently so. So this last one had a lot of buzz around it because obviously it was touted. A lot of the promotion was surrounding the fact that he was going to be done with rap, and I mean it was a nice little closing chapter. I think he tied up a lot of like ends that were initially set up with the first album, which is why the titles are so similar. But no, one of the things that really stood out to me was just the production work. I mean, a lot of the producers that he's worked with on like those first couple of mixtapes, it sounds like he brought them back. And actually, No ID, from what I understand, is the executive producer.
Okay.
He gets a couple of shout outs. Apparently, they made this album in quarantine within like 10 days or something like that.
Oh, that's wow. That's
really
impressive. Because I've heard this is kind of a return to form to him because he had been slumping for a little bit, and people, I mean, like generally speaking, like his last couple of records weren't as well received both critically and by his fans. Mm-hmm. And I have heard a lot of positive buzz about this record. I have not checked it out yet, but I will because I remember actually the first time that I met you all those years ago, you told me to listen to The Incredible True Story was out at that time.
Okay.
And to this day, that remains the only Logic album that I thought was pretty good that I've heard.
It is my favorite one, I will say. It's my favorite project of his.
So yeah, and I've heard that this is his best record since then. So I am definitely going to check it out before too long.
Yeah, no, I would definitely check it out. But besides that, I mean, there haven't really been any new releases. I've just kind of been, if anything, I've been going back and listening to artists that I've been sleeping on for God knows however. Just to name a couple off the top of my head because I know I have it here. There's this artist named IDK. Have you heard of IDK?
Yes, yeah. I heard the album. What was the album called again? I did hear it once.
He has many albums, but the one that I'm talking about it's called it's all caps. It's one phrase. I was very bad.
Yeah. That's the album where he talks about going to prison.
Yeah.
I heard that. I didn't love it. I was very disappointed by it because I heard a lot of good buzz about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting concept. It wasn't like horrible. It just didn't really click with me.
Oh, well, hey, I mean, it's not for everybody. I will say that. It's kind of like one of those things where a rapper will take an album concept that has already been done to death. And in this case, it's the upbringing and relationship with his hometown that, I mean, was beautifully, obviously mastered by Kendrick Lamar on Good Kid, Mad City. And then, the years following, we saw a bunch of rappers try and take that avenue for their albums.
It's been a pretty popular concept album.
Right. And that's kind of what that album is. But what makes it so much more special is like he paints himself as a character that is very much about that life. Whereas on Kendrick's album, it's like this is a kid who doesn't want to be associated with that, but is being pressured into doing it.
Yeah.
With IDK, that album is very much like he's full on making the decision to jump into this lifestyle, knowing full well what the consequences, may be on the horizon.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
I might have to revisit. I know it's not a particularly long album, and it's entirely because I literally only heard it once. I remember I heard it like at the end of the year. That came out in 2018, right?
Something like that.
Because I remember like I have this, and I probably like I have this very bad habit at the end of the year where I'm trying to cram albums in that I missed, and I don't give them like super sufficient listens. I'm just trying to like stack the numbers at the end of the year, which is a horrible, and it's the complete opposite of what I do for the first 11 months of the year.
Right.
So I'm just like, yeah, man, I got to finish those last like 10 records so the numbers look better, which is a stupid technique. And that was one of those albums that I happened to listen to in 2018. And I wasn't super impressed with it. And I was like, oh, this is okay.
Well, the other album that I would recommend that I've been going back to listen to, it was recorded or it was released earlier this year, I want to say, or late last year, I don't remember. But it's by this artist. His name's Deontay Hitchcock.
I have not heard of him.
So he has a record called Better, in all caps, Better, and there are some amazing hooks on that thing. I mean, I didn't realize.
Okay.
He's from I think he's from one of the southern states. He might be from Atlanta, I don't know, but his demeanor is what really put me on, because it's very much like somebody who like I said with IDK is trying to reflect on his upbringing and whatnot. But for me, it was more of his demeanor of how he carried himself throughout the entire record. He's also a really great rapper too, and he meshes really well with a lot of his contemporaries. Like he has a song with JID that they both went really great, bar for bar exchange with.
Okay.
There's this artist named Young Nudie who's on that.
Yeah. Oh, I actually just listened to his new record earlier this week called Anyways.
Oh, how was it?
Good album. I liked it. I mean, I like it's a little bit repetitive, but he has an impeccable ear for beats. He's 21 Savage's cousin, actually.
I didn't know that.
When 21 Savage got arrested by ICE a couple of years ago, he was with him.
Oh shit!
But he's not British like 21 Savage, so he didn't. They couldn't try to deport his ass. But I am a fan of his. He put out an album with Pierre Bourne last year that was actually very good called Slimier.
Okay, nice.
That was good. But I am a fan of Young Nutty.
Yeah. So he's on that record too, and then I think Black is also on the record too. He has a pretty good solid feature on that.
6 Lack?
6 Lack, yeah.
6 Lack's hanging around. It's all right.
He's on that album. So yeah,
that's right. Shout out to the Canadian homie, 6 Lack.
Yeah. But yeah, those are just some of the albums I've been bumping, recently. I will take this time though to go ahead and plug an Apple Music playlist that I've been going back to the well on every so often, and it's by this the at name is Ogre Time. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but there's
you have not.
There's a social media account. Shrek Knows Rap, yeah.
Yeah.
You know about Shrek Knows Rap?
No, I don't know what Shrek Knows Rap. But I thought Shrek was making playlists, man, in the swamp.
Yeah, no, he's making playlists. He's making playlists for all kinds of occasions. If you look up on Apple Music or Spotify right now, you'll find playlists for a couple different moods of the day, atmospheres. There's one called Ogre. There's Ogre Time, which is the main one, where he just takes like all of his favorite releases. And then there's Ogre R&B, which is like some of the best R&B records. Ogre new workout plan, which is like all the hard shit.
Oh my god!
And then there's one that's late night drives, which is a great one.
This is incredible.
Oh, it's so good. And the thing is, I find myself driving around listening to these songs, and I'm like, I don't know who this artist is, but I keep pushing the plus button to add every song. I'm like, I gotta add this to my library.
So you're telling me that Shrek has impeccable taste?
He has a great taste, man.
Right.
Spotify needs to hire him for the Rap Caviar.
Maybe they will. If they get some more glowing endorsements like that, then maybe he'll be the next curator.
Yeah, shout out Shrek.
Yeah, hell yeah, Shrek. That's actually, I'm not kidding. My Call of Duty clan tag right now is Shrek.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny because I did it to try to make my friends laugh, and not one of them have laughed. Because we like I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I'll probably change it, but I've had for like the last like month.
They expect it from you. That's why.
Yeah, I mean they probably just like completely didn't bat an eyelash. Like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
And it was like, Shrek.
Yeah. So I mean, I would totally check that out.
I'm
sure some of those stuff. I think that City Moore record had a couple tracks on that last.
That's a good chance. I mean, it came out a few weeks ago, so it's hot in the streets.
Right.
To an extent.
So
yeah, I mean, if Shrek likes it, that's a far more important cosign than mine.
If I were them, I'd get them on Genius and have them annotate lyrics. I think that'd be great. And
why not
have someone impersonate the ogre?
Mike Myers isn't really doing a hell of a lot. You can probably get the real Shrek.
Yeah, that'd be great. Honestly,
Christ. I mean, Myers he's probably really got a really open schedule, and I think even if there was no quarantine, I think he would still have a very open schedule. I don't think he'd be getting too many calls to make the Love Guru 2.
Exactly.
Or fucking Wayne's World 3 is probably a possibility, but that's about it.
Yeah.
He's probably been waiting by the phone for that since 2005.
I bet you it's coming.
Probably.
everyone's getting the third movie. Like, you had Jay and Silent Bob last year, and now
we got Bill and Ted is coming out next week.
Right. So why not? Why not make another one?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Right.
Dana Carvey probably needs the money too, so it's a win-win.
Oh, he definitely does.
You're helping out. You're helping out some fine Canadians.
Dana Carvey is probably incredibly upset that his unemployment benefits ran out.
No, dude, those Master of Disguise royalty checks are still hitting every couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
He's good, man. He's good. The Carve man is A-okay.
Yeah, exactly.
UPN is really giving him 15 cents every 2 weeks, and he's just living off that. He's
oh my god,
fucking foraging.
Yeah.
Man, he's fucking up the Family Dollar with the friggin' Master of Disguise royalty money.
He's walking in. I mean, he doesn't even need a face mask. He can just hide in that little turtle.
Yeah. His kids are eating hella off-brand granola bars. I mean, it's really just pick of the fucking litter. They're having all sorts of loopy lemon and whatever the hell the generic fucking sodas they put in like the Dollar Tree that don't taste anything like what they're supposed to be. They're very bad cover songs for sodas. You're like this isn't Sprite. Like this is like fucking orange juice.
It's Yellow Mellow or Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, it's just really bad knockoffs. But anyways, congratulations, Dana Carvey, on being able to getting your free run of whatever goods they have at the Family Dollar, courtesy of Master of Disguise.
Yeah, and congrats to hopefully getting a gig on SNL impersonating Dr. Fauci.
You mean to tell me they're gonna recast him for Brad Pitt's not gonna be able to do it every week?
No.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Brad Pitt's doing other stuff. I heard Brad Pitt's got like some kind of movie where he's reuniting with Jennifer Aniston.
They were supposed to do a table read for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It was supposed to be tonight, but they had technical problems. So, which is baffling. I mean, like, you come on. You think? I mean, they gotta have better internet. I mean, like, considering, come on.
Yeah, that doesn't make
inexcusable. Right. Called net zero.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get that shit figured out.
The number one topic of the week, of these past couple weeks. Do you want to bring it? Do you want to introduce it?
I mean, you're the host, so you can plus if I introduce it, I'll start ranting about it right away. So it's better. Actually. We need to dip our toes in the water.
All right. Well, go ahead and do it. I don't even know how to say it without a straight face or with a straight face.
Well. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a certain hip hop song that has really kind of taken over the world in the last 2 weeks.
It combines two hip hop moguls, two people that are well respected in the rap game, coming together for the first time ever to release a record that has gained a lot of notoriety. And that is The Adventures of Moon Man by Kid Cudi and Eminem.
Yes.
No, it's wild.
The streets are buzzing.
It's Cardi B. It's Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, what else can you really say? Initially, we were going to record this, and there was going to be tons of takes that hadn't already been given. But, like, I feel like it's been spoken to death at this point.
But it's still. I mean, yeah. It's what's popping in the streets right now, and this is
who's on the streets right now?
Well, no. Well, you're not supposed to be on the streets, but the virtual streets, and people keep going on and on and on about it. So, I mean, there's plenty of meat left on the bone. I mean, it officially hit number one on the Billboard charts now, man. So, and I think it's gonna stay there. I don't think this song's going away anytime soon.
What's your initial?
Do you want to talk about the song itself first, and then we can talk about the backlash?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the song itself. I mean, well, first of all, we should say this is Cardi B's first single in a couple years. I believe "Money" was the last song she released before this. So, I mean. And if she's gonna if this is like what's teasing her next album, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big. I mean, you bring in Megan Thee Stallion, who is fucking on fire right now. She's probably the breakout star of hip hop in the last year, I'd say, from like dating back to last fall. I mean, she's been fucking, and she's had a healthy year, but she's already had. This is her second number one single of the year. I mean, she had her own with the Savage remix with Beyonce. So I mean, she's been everywhere. I mean, she did the theme. She did the fucking theme song to Birds of Prey.
Did she? I didn't know that.
She did with Diamonds, her and Normani. So I mean, she's again. So if you're gonna build buzz, there is a whole hell. I mean, like it's a good way to do it. You make a nasty ass song that is an ode to the '90s era hip hop coming out of the South. I mean, I know Cardi B's from New York.
I also got that. I got a very like 3-6 Mafia.
90, 3-6 Mafia, fucking like Trick Daddy, like trunk knocking shit from the Megan Thee Stallion's from Houston, so it makes sense. You know, they're just the old grimy, over the top, vulgar Southern hip hop. I mean, like everything from the sample, from the bass. I'll say the only problem I have with the song is I think that Megan Thee Stallion has the intensity for the song. I mean, she just fucking abuses that fucking beat. And she's just fucking like swag confidence from top to bottom. Cardi, I feel like it could have gone a little bit harder. I mean, the swag's there, but I mean, considering the intensity that Megan Thee Stallion brings to the song, and I know Cardi can do that. So it was a little bit disappointing for her to have a little bit of a more like mid-paced approach to the song.
I thought the rapping from Cardi was fine. I honestly
it was, but it was just disappointing. I think it would have been better if she matched the intensity of Megan Thee Stallion, because I know she has that in her arsenal, and I think the song would go like, I think it would have, because the song goes pretty fucking hard, but I think that it would have peaked out at it would have gone harder if Cardi B brought a little bit more oomph to the microphone.
What has been Cardi B's essential, like what has she been known for as far as rapping wise? Like what is her style? What do you think?
Her style. I think her style. I think she's pretty fucking versatile. I think her and Megan Thee Stallion have pretty similar skill sets. Just Megan Thee Stallion has the Southern influence because she's from Houston. So I think they're both like trap artists that have undertones of pop rap. Now, with Megan Thee Stallion, it's trap and old school Southern hip hop mixed with pop rap.
From the reason why I asked that is I think the subject matter of the song, right? So it's talking about fucking and shit. Like I think that kind of subject matter is so out there that I don't necessarily feel like she needed to come as hard as Megan, mainly because people already know Cardi B is already like a very openly sexual person by nature, by her personality, and I feel like by using that personality through her rapping, I don't necessarily feel like basically what I'm trying to say is Cardi B's never been known to be like a very like rap, rapidy rap kind of artist.
No, but she has that in her. She has it. I mean, she's like a song like "Get Off 10" off Invasion of Privacy. Like she can rap really fucking fast. Like she has it. Yeah. And the thing, and you're right. I mean, both Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are make overtly sexual songs all the fucking time. Particularly Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, fucking just about every fucking song she made is overtly sexual. Because again, she herself. I mean, she has a huge. Like, she has a like Juicy J's been like her mentor. And she is heavily influenced by 3-6 Mafia and fucking like Trina and shit like that from that era in the South. But the difference is that I think this song kind of ramps up what they're known for to another level. Because this is not like as sexual as hip hop usually is, as sexual as their music is. This takes it to another. This is another level. Right. And Megan Thee Stallion I think to match the heightened vulgarity, you need a heightened delivery. And Megan Thee Stallion brings that. Like Megan Thee Stallion is, I mean, granted, she is a better technical rapper than Cardi. I don't even think it's even close, to be quite fucking honest with you, particularly on this fucking song. Yeah. But I know that Cardi is a better technical rapper than she shows on this song. And I know that she's capable of hitting that intensity and to match Megan, or at least come as close as she possibly can. And I think that would have made the song work better, considering how over the top the lyrics are and what.
Let me ask you, who do you think has the better quotables?
Megan. I think for sure. Really? I think the line about her switching her wig and so you could feel like you could feel like you're cheating is the funniest line of the entire song.
Because for me, I couldn't remember a word she said because she was rapping so quickly. But for Cardi, I immediately remember like some of the stuff that she said. It sticks to my head.
That's a good point, because I think that's an advantage. I think most of the lyrics that people had reacted strongly to are mostly Cardi's lyrics because they're more easily decipherable.
Right.
The bucket and the mop, obviously in the chorus, and then you have the macaroni in the pot line.
Exactly, which is great because it references one of my favorite vines.
The macaroni, but that's the thing is, I think I'll leave that alone until we get to the more heightened part of the conversation. But
no, just bring it up right now. You just
all right. So
Band-Aid.
Yeah, all right. So obviously this song has, understandably so, because it's a song called Wet Ass Pussy and is incredibly vulgar. People have reacted very strongly to this. Mostly, most notably, several Republican commenters
I didn't
and
even know they listened to
people
him.
running for office. But there has been a right-wing observation saying that this is like, this is what feminism is supposed to be, and like this is gross. Like my kids, like they need to find God. And is it a big part of that, to be honest with you? I mean, it's undeniable that a big part of that is because it's women talking about sex, which is funny because this isn't a new concept of, hip hop itself is an inherently vulgar genre, and Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are not breaking new ground here.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they aren't breaking new ground. I mean, this is like one of the first collaborations between female rappers to hit #1.
No, you're right on that regard, that there's two of them, but I'm saying in terms of subject matter. I mean,
okay.
Lil Kim, no, it's a huge milestone for how successful it's been. Absolutely. But I'm saying in terms of subject, like, this is not the first time a female rapper has made a overtly over-the-top sexual song. I mean, have you heard
it's the first time in a long time.
I think it's the first time. I think it's the first time that something has been that successful. I mean, dude, even like Cardi herself has had, like I said earlier, Cardi and Megan themselves have had songs that are very much like this on their albums. They weren't necessarily like their top lead singles.
Right, but I understand what you're saying. Like Nicki has done this before.
Nicki's done it before. I mean, fucking Lil Kim, Trina, Gangsta Boo. Fucking, you go down the line. I mean, if you go throughout the 35, 40-year history of hip hop, you're gonna find women every fucking step of the way that have made songs that are mad fucking sexualized and mad fucking vulgar. Yep. But it obviously, as I said, the genre itself is incredibly sexualized. I mean, granted, this is at like the top tier. Like, this is about as obscene as it gets. I'll give you that. But there is something to, I'm not going to pretend like it is absolutely a valid point that a big part of why this is so, people are reacting so like to this is because it's treated differently when women talk this way. I don't know why. It's like women, they I mean, believe it or not, women can like sex. They can enjoy getting dick down just as much as the man enjoys doing the dicking down.
I don't
crazy.
I don't think it's that people don't know that. I think it's more along the lines of people don't want to admit it.
Which is fucking. Plus, have you ever seen? Now this is one thing with like women can be horny too, and women can like shit. Have you ever even heard about a bachelorette party with them involving male strippers?
Yeah, it's like a common trope.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like, have you heard stories from people you like know?
Oh, personally, no.
Yeah, because they're insane. The stories I've heard, I'm just like, okay, this is just as bad as males going to them. It's just as bad.
Well, yeah, I guess relatively.
I mean, it's just like motherfuckers. I mean,
my favorite line, I will say,
greased up
of the song is that undertone beat, that undertone at like the bottom of the beat where you just hear someone. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes. It's just so funny.
It is funny. It's a funny step, but that's the thing. What makes me laugh is like, you have to know when you hear that out of the gate that like that's before any wet-ass pussy has come on the song.
It's a turn
that
back,
like you have to know, like, as soon as you hear that, like, we're having a bad time. Like, you're gonna have a bad fucking time if you are offended by language, sexual, the dialogue. Like, you're not having fun.
Exactly.
And I mean, and then again, if you didn't pick up on that, Cardi is quick to remind you that the song is called "Wet Ass Pussy" within 5 fucking seconds of the actual vocals dropping.
Exactly.
So I don't know, but the thing that blows my mind is, like, particularly in this day and age, like, the thing was, this song cannot be played on the radio in its pure form, obviously. And if you were to hear the edited version, it's almost a completely different song. Like, I remember when I saw the heavily hyped music video, they put the edited version on there, and it's literally like, it's might as well be a different song.
Yeah, it's insane.
Because it's so obscene.
A lot of censorship. I think it's been changed. The phrase has been changed to wet and gushy.
I actually think, now, Wet Ass Pussy does not bother me at all. Wet and gushy is gross. Like, that is a gross set of words. I don't care what the fuck you're talking. It's gushy is the problem. Like, ugh. Gushy sounds like there's like mold growing. And that's just like, ugh, I'm like, gushy. I don't care if it's a vagina or a fucking ceiling. If there's mold growing, I don't want any part of it. I just know. Like, the mold, I'm very anti-mold. I have no, like, wet ass pussy, great. Moles, no fucking thing.
What is, in your opinion, what is this? How does this point the trajectory of Cardi's next album?
I mean, I think it's a fucking huge. I mean, I think both of them are going to benefit from this greatly. I mean, the attention that they've commanded, positive and negative, is off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
I mean, people are, and they're not going to shut the fuck up about this song anytime soon, particularly when Ben Shapiro keeps owning himself. Because did you see his tweet today?
I just said his name. You didn't hear me say his name?
I did not hear. I was.
Yeah. What did he say?
All right, so today, because people, obviously, you're on the internet, so you've seen all the memes people have been making about him and his wife, because he made the tweet.
On my phone.
He made the tweet about saying that, like,
go see a doctor or something.
He made the like his doctor, like, I hope these get they have I hope they have a yeast infection because they have wet ass pussies. And then he literally said today, he made a fucking tweet about how he didn't care people were making fun of him, and like sex isn't everything in a relationship. And then people started flaming him because it's like, oh, because you're not getting any, dude.
And rightly so. It's because he sounds like a 30-year-old youth pastor.
Oh, his voice, man. His voice is like, that's the thing. Even if I agreed with him politically, I don't know if I could listen to him because his voice is just so fucking unpleasant. And but he's just Shapiro. He's a fucking pseudo-intellectual fucking douche. Like fuck Ben Shapiro. Like even if he I was on my side of the spectrum of politically, I would. He's a fucking pretentious fucking asshat. And I'm glad that the song fucking really like caused brain to explode. That women can be aroused, or really anybody can be aroused. Because I mean, I think what are the odds that Ben Shapiro has made a woman come in his life?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to find out either.
Say like 2%. Probably 0, but based on the way he's talking, considering he was very alarmed that he's like that's not what it's supposed to do, because he sounded very concerned for their health.
Yeah, it's very creepy, I would say.
But it was.
There's a slow news day at the office where this is the number one thing you need to comment on.
But because there was I think what happened, because obviously it came out 2 weeks ago today. We're recording this on Friday, so it came out 2 weeks ago today. And what happened was there was a very early on. Now, as I was said earlier. This is something you have to seek out, particularly on the first day, because there was some guy who was running for a Republican who's running for Congress, I believe, in California, and he was saying, "I accidentally listened to this song. I accidentally listened to it," which is like you can't accidentally consume unedited music in 2020.
Right.
And then he basically said these women, like, they clearly, this is what happens when you don't grow up with God in the home.
Oh, I did see that.
It was hilarious because he went into he kept going and going. I'm like, dude, you seek this shit out.
Yeah.
You seek this shit out, pal.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to go on a rant about, how, God damn it, these women talking about the fucking and the wet ass pussies. They clearly don't have a relationship with Christ.
Right.
I'm like, dude, fuck you. I know you bring it so apparently you're right. No one who likes God can like sex. I forgot that's how it operates. You're right. There's because there's just no fucking going on if you like God. You're fucking the Holy Spirit, baby. That's all you're fucking.
Yep.
You know what you get horny for? The Bible.
The Old Testament.
The body of Christ.
That's the only body you should be around.
You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. You don't touch anything else, including yourself. It's a fucking sin.
It's like that better be a what is that thing called? A communion cracker going in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. You better be thinking about nothing but communion lavers in your fucking prayers. There, you fucking asshole. You take these. You better not put any energy on the wet ass p words by those goddamn.
You're on your knees. It better be so you can make this motion.
Exactly.
No, I think this is going to be a really great first. First off, it's an amazing first single, because what I've noticed a lot about
Yep.
Especially with rappers nowadays, is I found that in the past 2 years or so, that first single has been really fucking weak for a lot of mainstream artists. I can give you some examples. For example, that last Drake record he put out, Tootsie Slide, as his first record, which made no sense at all to me.
Yeah, I mean, but Dark Lane Demo, I agree with you, but Dark Lane Demo Tapes was literally a record of Lucy's.
No, but it was showed. Okay. But did it chart or not? If it charted, it was meant to be an album.
It did chart. Oh, it was a pretty big hit.
And other rappers like that, I just have not really cared about that first single. So this has been a really great one. I also feel like this one's going to be, I don't know what it is about the rollout, but it sounds like the rollout's going to be a lot more bigger and just a lot more in your face. I can only imagine the features that we have working with Cardi, because I know that is she back associated?
Kylie Jenner is going to be on it.
Huh?
I mean, I would imagine so. I mean, her husband's in Migos. I understand the Takeoff had a troubling accusation going on him right now.
Well, no, I thought that I was confused. I didn't know if they had split or whatever. I don't keep up.
No, they're still together. I know Offset cheated on her, but no, they're still together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would imagine that there'll probably be at least he'll be on the album. I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, and just all of the heavy hitters that have been making the waves these past year, like DaBaby, Lil Baby, 21 Savage, these kind of artists.
Oh, she better bring back Savage. If we get another Bartier Cardi, I'll be fucking thrilled.
Yeah, like I think it's going to be interesting to see how she melds now that we've kind of departed. Now I feel like 2018 kind of signaled a turn in terms of hip hop music, and I think that it's going to be interesting to see how her chemistry comes, or sounds like on this new record.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I this is a very important record for her, because I mean, Invasion of Privacy was a very solid debut. It clearly it was huge, but I think you're going to get a better idea of what type of artist she is from this album.
Exactly.
And I think that this is a good fucking start. I mean, this is a good fucking start. I mean, the song itself is good. The attention's fucking great. And I just hope that she can put together another solid record. Because Invasion of Privacy was a very solid album top to bottom, but I think she can do better. And hopefully she will. I mean, I'm not confident if this is an indicator if she will be able to do better, but it's a nice start. And I'm looking forward to hearing the record whenever the fuck it comes out. And also, I hope this is an indicator. I hope more female rappers put out songs like this, just because the wave of outrage has been so fucking insane and hilarious to me.
I think this is a perfect opportunity for that kind of music.
So let's fucking go.
Rapping.
Let's go.
I would love to see just like more rappers take this lane. I don't know if you listen to Rico Nasty at all, but like.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
So Rico Nasty has a song with Doja Cat, Tia and Tamara.
I have, yes.
I want to see. Please give me more of that. Like,
yeah, I mean, yes. If we exactly. I mean, if you're nicknaming your boobs after the Maori twins, I mean, that's a fucking party right there, man. So let's fucking go. We need more insanely over the top, sexualized songs, so the fucking people can the people with the religious fucking virtue signalers can fucking get very mad, and Ben Shapiro can get very disturbed by it. And everybody can get very upset, and everyone can laugh, and then everybody else can laugh. That's what I'm looking for. Like, give it to me more. I mean, I don't know where you can go from here. I'm sure there's plenty of places you can go.
Exactly. Speaking of laughing. Sorry.
But no, sorry. I'm just wrapping up. But I think I'm not confident though. I think the title and the concept of this song, "Wet Ass Pussy," that's gonna be hard to top from the obscenity standpoint.
I mean, you could have. I feel like you can maybe one up it by some way.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you don't need that title because now this is a song I think. Now this song does not. While it is very vulgar, I don't think it goes too far because there is such a thing as too much vulgarity. To me, that is very, very hard to. But there's only two songs.
With Nicki.
There's only two. No, see, for me, I only think there's only two hip hop songs ever that have made me like. I'm like, this is too far. This is disgusting. Play by David Banner is too much. And the far and away the worst of all, the unedited version of "Wait the Whisper" song by the Yang Yang Twins. And I think it's the second one. I think it's because the lyrics are gross, but I think the whispering makes it more uncomfortable because it gives it like a predatory vibe that is incredibly uncomfortable. So that's why with the Whisper song, now mind you, the edited version is hilarious and a classic. But the unedited version is too much. So the key is if you're gonna put a song out that like where it's too gross, make a fun edited version where everybody makes stupid sounds like, oh,
right. Isn't it coincidental that both of those records came out at around the same time?
Yes, they did. I think they came out within a year each other. So the middle of the 2000s was really disgusting. So I'm glad that we've gotten past that and we've gotten the vulgarity down to a nice point where it's still very obscene, but it's palatable. Palatable vulgarity, kids. That's what we need. So all the young ladies out there, you make some palatably vulgar songs so we can take over the world.
Right.
All right. You go.
All right, so moving on to our the next release, that was a big old comeback single by the man we just mentioned. His name's Aubrey.
Do you think this will challenge? Do you think this will challenge WAP?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna be. I think it might be a good contender for number one.
If not, I think it's gonna end up at 2. I think it's gonna end up at 2, but I think it has an outside chance at 1.
Well, because it's Drake, and Drake's been known to kind of like crumble any kind of newcomers whenever they get
fair. But this is one of the most. This might be the most imposing challenge he's taken for a new single
since Pusha T. Oh, I thought you were just talking about challenges in general.
No, in terms of releasing a new song and like what the incumbent number 1 is. Like this might be. I'd have to go. Obviously, I don't know the fucking what was number 1 when his song entered the charts. But I think this might be the most. I think it's fair to say that this might be the most imposing challenge he's faced.
Which is fine with me. I mean, I'm totally fine with him not beating them. But he did release a pretty funny music video attached to his new song. This is Laugh Now, Cry Later.
Yes.
Let me just get your thoughts on the song.
This is the debut single off of his new album, which is called what is it? Loverboy something. It has a ridiculous name.
Well, the album title Loverboy has already been attributed to another rapper named Russell that I really enjoy. Not Russ, but Russell.
There's a second word attached to it.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry. My
bad. So in order to deviate from Loverboy, he put the word certified in front of it.
Certified Loverboy. Ridiculous album title.
Yeah, and if the album art or the artwork that was teased in the video was any indication, it's going to be terrible.
No, see, for me, I find that title oddly comforting. I think it's gonna be returned to form because it's wicked corny, and
that's what
Drake said. It when Drake is peak Drake, he's at his corniest. So
well, speaking of peak Drake, the thing that I really love about this record is because it really does harken back to like a lot of his videos where he's just having fun, and doing whatever he likes to do, and not trying to be somebody else or follow some kind of a fad or a trend that's going that he likes to do a lot. This one has very much felt like he wanted to just brainstorm a bunch of stupid ideas and goof off for 4 minutes.
Yes, and
he's done it before on songs like God's Plan, or like on what was that record? Started from the bottom.
Well, God's Plan, he has warmed the heart, man. By giving.
I'm talking about in terms of the video itself.
I'm talking the video. Well, it was goofing around, but it was also very heartwarming. It was just Drake.
It was very heartwarming. I guess you could maybe use a better example of that would probably be Start from the Bottom, where he's just kind of like in the DR bowling, riding ATVs with his friends.
Yep.
This was very much a welcome single. I think return to form for him because I mean I don't know about you, but like I said before, I absolutely hated that Tootsie Slide song.
Tootsie Slide sucks. Yeah,
it was awful. And it really did for me at least kind of put maybe wonder whether or not it was going to be over for Mr. Drake.
Yeah. The thing is that for me, I agree with everything you said, and I think what was and hopefully this sets the tone for the entire record, but. It became especially clear. Like I heard the single by itself before I watched the video, but it feels like he's trying to he's made a couple of dour records in a row. So I think he's trying to go back to having fun again. I think I agree with you because Scorpion was generally a down tempo somber record, and so was Dark Lane demo tapes. So I think he's just and obviously neither of those releases were particularly well received by his fans or critics. So I think he's trying to play the go back to what he knows and what he's best at. And I think this song is a good example of getting back to that. For the video, I mean, the video he's poking fun at himself. I mean, he has professional athletes just dicking around with him at the fucking Nike headquarters in Oregon, and it was funny because initially, in the first minute of the video, I thought Drake was trying to make him look like he was the man because you can see him taking a jump shot over Kevin Durant, and it looks like it's going in, but they cut away.
They cut away from it.
But then the rest of the video is Durant fucking shitting on him.
Exactly.
So that was hilarious, and it was my favorite shot of the entire video is when it looks like he's gonna duplicate the Odell Beckham one-handed catch, and then Marshawn Lynch comes in and hits him.
Tackles him.
And he makes the catch, but he's coming down for what would be a touchdown, and then Marshawn Lynch comes in and hits him. And the Marshawn Lynch cameo was great because it comes out of nowhere, and every time Marshawn Lynch is my favorite football player of the last 10 years, and when he shows up, he's just a fucking one-man party. So when Marshawn Lynch showed up, I was like, all right, this is great. The video, I enjoyed the video up to that point where the Marshawn Lynch cameo was great. But for the song itself, I mean, you can tell even for the beat. The beat has that smooth bounce to it that you would you could tell if you just isolated that beat and said what rapper is doing the song, your first guess would probably be Drake.
I agree.
He's
Very much reminded me of Trophies.
Yes, that's a great comparison. And it was just nice. It's just, again, I'm not gonna say it's not like mind blowing. It's not one of my favorite Drake songs, but it just goes. But it felt like it was like a hug, because it was familiar, it was comforting, and it was just fucking Drake at his best. It was just catchy, a fucking fun, breezy fucking song, and that's when Drake's at his fucking best. Now, what do you think about the Lil Durk verse? Because that's been getting a lot of play.
I think, honestly, I feel like Lil Durk has grown so much since like his first couple of hit records. I didn't even recognize him in the video at first because I was like, "Holy shit!"
Neither did I.
Durk?
Neither did I. And honestly, it was the shot in the video was hilarious of them like wearing like Drake's wearing like the Michael Jordan suit. They have like their bad draft suits on. And then I forgot that Lil Durk was on. I don't know what Lil Durk looks like either. And because of the whole athlete theme, and I forgot he was from Chicago, he's wearing a Bulls hat. So right. I thought it was somebody from the Bulls that I didn't recognize.
Just rapping?
Or just like a guy or another athlete who's wearing a Bulls hat. No, I should clarify that because I lied because there's like one good player on the Bulls and it's Zach LaVine and I know exactly what he looks like. So no, I didn't. So I don't think I really thought it was a guy from the Bulls. I thought it was like another like young athlete that I didn't know who the fuck it was. And then I realized it was Lil Durk. And then I realized it was Lil Durk. No, because when it cut to the actual rapping, I was like, oh wait, that's Lil Durk. I was like, oh whoopsie, because I have no fucking idea what Lil Durk looks like.
Yeah.
No fucking clue. I had legitimately never seen him before.
Okay.
So I was like, huh, what? But regardless, I mean, I have heard that's like I think Lil Durk is an entirely like nondescript artist. And I think this verse, I remember it, so that's an improvement. I wasn't super impressed with it, but I think a lot of the attention that this verse is getting, while everyone's like, yo, this verse is great, he kills Drake on this song, is because he called out 6ix9ine.
Yeah, is that what it was?
I think, for me, that's why I think, because people just love, like, petty shots. A verse is considered to be good in a lot of people's eyes if they, like, call somebody out.
Well, speaking of petty shots, did you catch the Kanye dig?
I did not.
So there's a Kanye line right there where he says, what is it? He's like, this isn't a closable gap.
All right.
In the video, you see him walking around the Nike headquarters, which alludes to the whole Nike Kanye thing that fell through. And then
that's fucking funny. All right, that's funny.
Pretty hilarious.
No, that's funny. And the 6ix9ine line, it's obvious, but it's still funny.
It is. I didn't even really like care to listen to the lyrics because I was just so happy to hear him having fun again. But then when it was pointed out to me that's what it was like I'm trying to think. Oh, the line is they say Drizzy just snapped. Distance between us is not a store. This isn't a closable gap. Yeah. I'm like, this is hilarious because as we all know, Gap is partnering up with Kanye West.
Yes.
I really do also love the what is it? The bait, like just the ad-libbing.
Baby, yeah, just. I know, but it wouldn't work if it wasn't Drake. That's like it would be annoying.
He knows how to do that really well. He does.
And I think that's the funny part is like, I think that's the most memorable part of the song, other than like the whole thing. Because I think I've found myself over the past weeks going, baby, in my head.
Have you?
Yes, I have but that's the thing. But that's how you know a Drake song works. Because if you're sitting there just like quoting something, like some stupid little thing, and I haven't felt this way about a Drake song. Well, I don't think it's quite on this level since "Nice for What," because "Nice for What" was the similar situation where it was the lead single. That is one reason to be afraid though, because I know I liked Scorpion a little bit more than you did. I didn't completely hate it.
Yeah,
but when I heard that fucking song, I thought we were in for like something special. Like I was like, this is gonna be like the best thing Drake's done in a long time.
Yeah,
I legitimately think "Nice for What" is one of his best songs.
Well, for me, I remember hearing the Gods playing for the first time, going, "This is gonna be his big single," and then I was like, I just kept repeating that. Well, she said, "Do you love me?" I tell her, that part that became a huge meme. I'm like, oh fuck, he got it, he got me again, this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably gonna end up being like a huge one of his better like moments of just like catchy wordplay.
It's simple too. It's just like
just the word baby.
It's just the word baby.
Preceded by a pause.
Yeah, but I again, give me if Certified Lover Boy is just a fun fucking throwback Drake record, like, let's fucking go. Because he's due for that shit. And I don't think he's made a fun fucking record since More Life.
Right.
And I know you and I, we reviewed it on here, and we both were big fans of that album.
To this day.
And I think it's a great record. I think it's criminally overlooked in his discography.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a terrific song.
If this is going to be anything like that, I'm all in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there's some shit like Passion Fruit and fucking Ice Melts on that record, like, we're in fucking business.
Shit, dude. Ice Melts go, you know what's crazy? This is a quick side tangent, but have you ever played Ice Melts side by side with Blue Tint?
Yes, yeah. Not side by side, but the beats are very, very similar.
And they're such good siblings to each other. You got Young Thug on one, Future on the other.
Did they have the same producer?
They might have.
The only thing I know, Blue Tint was a beat that was originally meant for Big Crit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I found that out when I was on Genius, actually, when I was looking up a lyric or something.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but like you said, if you give me more stuff like that, stuff like
Blem, Portland,
yeah,
Madiva Rhythm.
Yeah, dude. You know what's crazy? I was looking at the track list the other day on my phone. I go, there's like not one. Maybe there's like one.
There's a couple of bad songs,
but like it's just like that first part of the album. It's just like fucking amazing.
Free Smoke's a fucking great song. Great opener.
I love Free Smoke. I love all the entire record. Fantastic.
I don't love Sacrifice. That's one thing. I'm not big on Sacrifice.
I know you did.
2 Chainz is like one of the best guest first artists around, but that song is just very mediocre.
Yo, she said Thanksgiving. Thank you for giving it to me like a pilgrim. Not a big fan of that.
Well, speaking of 2 Chainz, because have you heard Run the Jewels 4?
Yeah, he did an incredible job on that. And now that record.
Oh God, no!
So many retailers.
When he says buy a hot dog stand, when I'm trying to be frank, I'm like, that is so great. Yes. Oh God. Well, LP literally said, yeah, that's my favorite line on the album. Like, I know there's a lot more important shit. Like Mike has some great bars of this shit, but that fucking 2 Chainz line is just so good.
Well, the whole verse is just so fucking like it's such a thing that you would expect from him, because there are such like great quotables in there about him just like texting his girlfriend about having sex later.
Yeah. And I just want to say, it was Tony. Yeah, and he just kind of like coasts out. Like, I just imagine him like on a hoverboard going out of the studio. It's like he just goes Tony, and then just like fucking drives away.
Right.
Maybe he was possessed by The Shining. Maybe that was the problem. He was going Tony, and he just like walked away.
Yeah, he was thinking about Tony. Yeah, exactly.
Like, Tony, all right, I'm out. I have Shining. I watched Dr. Sleep a couple days ago, so I have The Shining on the mind. I'm looking forward to this next one. I think this one's going to be a good one, or at least better than the last two. Let's hope so. I mean, I think, like I said, I'm a little bit concerned because Nice for What was so fucking good, and Scorpion ended up being so meh. So hopefully this is a different story than that.
I would love to see him work with other like artists that are of the same caliber as Lil Durk. Like, I don't know if you listen to like YNB Corday at all, but
I do not. I heard good things, but I have not checked them out yet.
People like that. I mean, I don't really know any other artists that are around that off the top of my head, but like
NBA Youngboy.
I mean, I don't really listen to him at all.
Neither do I. I think he kind of sucks, actually. Quite frankly.
YNW Melly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to think who I'd like to see him work with. I mean, I think
I'd love to see him do a song with Uzi. I think him and Uzi Vert could probably.
Oh yeah, I think Uzi would be good.
Melody work.
I think go back to the Young Thug. Well, that's always a party.
Yeah.
21 Savage would be cool. I think if you did like a harder song with 21 Savage, that could be interesting. Again, I will advocate for this for everybody. Call Kodak on the prison phone again. Let's get some more. ASAP Rocky showed you how it's done. Let's get more Kodak Black prison phone bars.
Maybe Gunna, Lil Baby.
Yeah, for sure. I'm all for that. Gunna would be great.
Crazy. You brought up Kodak Black, and I was driving for Uber the other day, and I dropped this girl off in a neighborhood not too far from here. Apparently, that's where Kodak Black's from.
He's from where was
somewhere here. I don't know where.
Because I thought the Pompano Beach is in fucking South Florida. It's next to Miami.
Well, I mean, she told me that this is where she's like, yeah.
He's from Pompano, dude. Because I know where he's from because Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Ravens, knew him, and they're from the same neighborhood, and they have the same fucking accent. Lamar Jackson just sounds like Kodak without like the lean abuse.
Oh,
like he's Kodak with functioning kidneys.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, then I was mistaken.
Because no, I mean, well, she was just lying, I think. Because I know where you're in Central Florida and Pompano's in South.
Why was she trying to gain brownie points with an Uber driver? I don't know.
I guess so. She's just trying to impress you with Kodak Black shit, man. But I know he's from Pompano because I know the same thing as Lamar Jackson's from Pompano Beach, and it's just that they have the same fucking accent. So I became aware there's a Pompano Beach accent through Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So
I have not really much else to say.
No, I think that's pretty much it. But other than now I'm thinking about Nice for What, and then I want to listen to it again, and then I can maybe watch that video again and just get hypnotized for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Let's move on to let's talk about the album review for a second. Amine's new album. It's called Limbo. It's a second / third album. I don't know at this point. Apparently that second album didn't count.
I think this is the second full length. Just looking at his Rate Your Music page and what I believe is the second full length.
But that the last one was clearly a full length record.
It might have been a mixtape though. You gotta the classification could be different.
Oh, God, see that's what I hate.
Because hip hop is weird and it's stupid. Because it's just this isn't an album. It's a mixtape. So I believe this is his second studio album.
It's the same amount of fucking songs as the last one.
I agree, but the thing is, I don't know. This is my first exposure to Amine, honestly. So I can't answer that for sure. But I know when I was on his Rate Your Music page, that the Limbo was his second album, because his first one was the one where he's on the toilet, reading the paper.
Good for you.
That was, quite frankly, here's what I knew about Amine before this album. I knew the album cover of that record. Okay. And I know that he made an XXL freshman list. I couldn't tell you what year, but he was on a list.
That's it.
That's all I got. I think it might have been 2017, 2018.
Sure, why not?
But by the way, somebody reminded me of that year that the year, I think it was 16, where almost everybody's a star now.
Oh,
it was Yachty, Uzi, Savage, Denzel Curry, XXXTentacion. It was a preposterous, I believe it was 16, where it was almost all of the rappers are fucking huge. Kodak, it was a huge fucking stars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking up the annual freshman list, and a lot of times, you find these lists in 6 months down the line, only 2 of them.
It's weird because it's usually not in between. It's usually no one popped off or everybody popped off.
Yeah, no, and I'm looking here. The only one that really. Yeah, no, they've all had a pretty measurable level of success here. Even the quote unquote weakest one would be G Herbo, who's made the list twice.
But he was still he made a little bit of noise here and there. He's not completely irrelevant. However, this year, this guy, I don't know if it's I'm just not paying close enough attention, or I'm just old. But I was only aware of 2 of the artists on the list this year.
Oh, for this year, was it Jack Harlow and Baby Keem?
No, it was Jack Harlow and Lil Keed, because Lil Keed's associated with Young Thug, so I know him. Jack Harlow I didn't know until June, so there's 2 people I know. I don't know who any of those other motherfuckers are.
Yeah, I don't know. It's insane. I started getting that feeling probably around I think a couple of years ago I mentioned that I didn't know who any of these people. It was 2018.
I know, but that was the last time we talked about it on here. I was aware of who most of the people were.
I didn't even know that the list was still going until
I wasn't aware. No, I wasn't sure if they were going to do one for this year until I happened to see it on Twitter when it just came out, because I followed the XXL account, and then here it is. And I was okay, cool. And I was I know who 2 of those people are. Wow, this is alarming. Because who? Can you just humor me and read a few people from last year's list to see if this is just a one-off?
You have a rapper named Comethazine.
Okay, I don't know who the fuck that is.
His government name is a lot more interesting than that name. His name's Frank Childress.
All right.
You have Tierra Whack.
Okay, I know who that is.
You have The Baby, Lil Mosey, Roddy Rich. These are all artists who.
All right. Okay. So 2019. All right. So this is a fluke then.
Well, no, not necessarily. Well,
because I knew
Megan Stallion was on that list.
Yeah, I know who all these people, and with the exception of, I'm not confident when the XXL list came out. I don't think I knew who Lil Mosey was at this point at what that was, but I knew who the rest of them were.
Okay.
I knew DaBaby at that point. I knew Roddy Rich. I fucking knew Tierra Whack, because I have a friend that's actually a big Tierra Whack fan. But But yeah. So regardless, so whatever. So yeah. So this is just a one-off then, I guess. So and also just so we can finish this and get back to what year was Amine on it?
It was on 2017.
Okay. So 17. Who else was on that list?
You have Kyle, PNB Rock, Playboy Cardi, XXX.
Okay. Cardi.
Boogie with a Hoodie.
Yeah.
Speaking of somebody named Cap G with KAP.
The kid from Dope. Remember I didn't know who it was, but remember we talked about it because I was like, he was the kid from Dope, but they had to like
the Spanish kid?
Yeah, he's the kid that they had to bring the fucking laptop, the chip to.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
I don't know any of his music, but I remember that's a very memorable scene from the movie, and that was him. He was the guy in the warehouse that they met.
Oh, good for him, I guess.
So he's got apparently.
YO was also on that list.
Oh yeah.
We're everywhere. Love that song.
Hit song.
But yeah, all right. So anyway, back to the album. So yeah, this is his second album, Limbo. I remember when he first dropped that first single. It was called Shimmy, and that dropped back in January/February. And I was just like, yeah, this is a great return to form. I'm down with this. It's got the ODB sample on it. It's him, just like.
Wait, it does. It's almost like it's half the song.
Shut the fuck up.
For a second, it's a very. I mean, then hell, at the end, he just starts saying, "Baby, I like it raw."
Right.
I mean, it's basically a cover.
But yeah, no, I thought it was great. I was like, this is a really great like return to form. It's first single. It's like straight up out of the gate. And then he dropped another single that was called Riri.
Riri, yes.
Which is, by God, one of the most catchiest songs I've heard all year. I mean, I have played that song to an umpteenth amount. But then he came out with a song with the third single in July, and I was like, this isn't as great as the first two. It's the song "Compensating" with Young Thug. And when that one came out, I was like, all right, let's see if this is good. And it really just sounded like a first draft of a Young Thug. I don't know how you felt. It got like the twinkling piano keys. I was like, I've heard better.
Oh God, I loved it. Oh God, did I love it? I loved it. I thought that Thug fucking crushed. I loved the Thug. Now see, the synth line. No, I thought Thug went full Thug was at his quirkiest, and that's when he's at his best. Because I think that the synth line you just described is very like busy and frantic and kind of like off kilter, and I think that allowed for like eccentricity to just reign supreme, and I thought it was mad catchy and mad fun. It's just weird.
Isn't Young Thug? Wouldn't you consider him to be more lyrically creative in his endeavors, in his subject matter and what he raps about?
To an extent, but I think the main appeal of Thug is that he does have good punchlines, but I think the main appeal is that he's just so fucking he's a chameleon, and he can just he just decides to like switch it up so fucking much.
For me, it sounded like he phoned it in. I don't know what it was.
I disagree because I think he'd been guilty of that. I think he'd been guilty of that in some other places recently. But this time, I thought this is the best thing he has done in a little bit.
Okay. What was your opinion on the? I'll let you go. I'll turn it over to you. What was your?
I know. See, because this is my first exposure to him, so I had no fuck. Maybe I've heard like a stray guest spot here and there, but I didn't even know like what. What?
Have you heard Caroline?
No.
You ever heard Caroline? Okay, that's like one of his biggest things. Have you heard the song "Reel It In"?
Nope.
Okay.
No, dude, I knew who he was. Because like I had heard the name and like I knew he was pretty popular, but like I didn't. And again, like I said, he made an XXL list, but I didn't even know like what fucking subgenre he was.
Oh shit.
And what was interesting is like, and that's what I thought the appeal of this record is that I think that he does a good job of experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are times where it's fucking pop rap, there are times where it's trap, there's time where it's kind of R&B-ish, and there are times where it's even like fucking flirts with hardcore hip hop.
Yeah,
there are a couple songs that are really fucking aggressive on here, mostly Pressure in My Palms with Slow Tie and Vince Staples. But I thought that he did a good job. Now the one side I would say is that I don't think there's a lot of songs I would say are good, but there's not a lot that I would say are great.
Okay.
So the only songs that I thought were like outstanding were, aside from Compensating, was I think that Woodlawn had a really good energy to it.
That flute, man.
The flute, but because he is from Portland, that fucking sounded like the flute from Portland by Drake. Was that intentional?
I don't.
Because it was a song about Portland.
Well, it could have been, but the thing about that is I didn't really get a more of a like obviously Portland has the flute, but if anything, it reminded me of Bop. Well, that song,
by DaBaby. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Immediately, that's where my mind went to. It sounded exactly like as far as a dance record.
But Bop, I'll give you the vibe is similar, but Bop has more of like a keyboard situation. It's not really a flute. Because Bop is like Bop's not a flute.
It sounds like a flute. Are you sure?
It might be like another. It's not a flute. I don't think. I think maybe it is.
Oh man, because like it sounds that instrument is pretty distinct.
I'm trying to go through it in my head. I don't think it's a flute.
Okay.
It might not be keys either, but it might be another woodwind instrument. But I don't think it's a flute.
It's a clarinet. Squidward's clarinet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, all right. So Squidward was blowing on the net on that song. Okay, gotcha. But Woodlawn is very good, and the other one, as it pressured my palms, is terrific. Mm-hmm. I mean, nice to see Vince Staples on a record, and that song was like borderline industrial. I really liked the aggression, and shit was catchy. I liked that a lot.
Can I tell you? I think I know what your least favorite record is.
What do you think that would be?
Was it Mama?
Oh, how do you know? Now, it's a nice sentiment, okay? It's a nice sentiment to make a song about your mom. However, the problem is, and again, I don't think his singing is bad. The falsetto on, as you mentioned, Riri, nice little song, nice little sentimental song. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of other songs, particularly the back half of the record where he sings and he sounds pretty decent. However, there is some register that he hits on that song, on the like, you're the only woman in my life. That makes me smile. I'm like, why is the shit cracking? Man, you gotta know your fucking limits, dude. Like, don't. What's
crazy about that is that's not him singing.
I figured it wasn't, but whoever the fuck it, because I was gonna say like I'm not confident it was him singing, because it sounded a little bit different. Mm-hmm. But whoever the fuck that was, your motherfucking voice is cracking, dude.
Right, and not in a good way.
Tone it down. Like, you gotta particularly when you're going with high notes, man, you gotta know your fucking limits. You gotta know your registers, dude.
And it was the same thing on the record right immediately following that on Becky.
Yeah, same shit.
Like he was singing, it was weird because typically when you think about the structure of a song, right? You have your verse, then it goes into the hook, then you go verse, then you got the hook again, maybe the bridge comes after that, and then another verse. This one, it was like he was singing. The verses were like his singing voice. He was using his singing voice during the verses, and then the hook was a rapping hook.
Yeah.
It threw me
I agree. There was some weird. So I think both those songs are guilty of structural problems and like being nice sentiments that don't translate into great songs.
Correct.
Because Mama, you make a song about your mom, then Becky, you're trying to talk about about an interracial relationship falling apart because of that.
Right.
Because you just don't understand each other's backgrounds, and your families don't understand each other's backgrounds, and like how that can be a problem when you're dealing with interracial dating. And obviously, Portland is a very white city, so he's going to be dealing with shit like that a lot. I'm sure he did when he was growing up. And yeah, again, but it's a nice sentiment, but the song doesn't really come together. However, structurally, I think the messiest song, and not the worst, but the messiest song I think is easiest, like the Summer Walker duet.
Oh, okay.
Because production-wise, it was really fucking weird. Because the main beat is like this, like really like nice, like smooth guitar line. But then in like the bridge, there's like this really like dirty synth that's like grimy. And I'm like, what the hell is like, this doesn't fit. And it's not like the song isn't like a depressing song. Like it's supposed to be like a nice love song. And I'm like, where the hell does the grime come in? Like this really clashes with it.
Encouraging, but then they hit you. It's like toward the third part, right?
It creeps in a couple times. It's like, but then there's like a weird fade out in the last 30 seconds. And like you think the song's going down, then it comes back up again. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who mixed this? And then it's supposed to be this romantic song. Then I thought their individual vocal parts were fine, but I wasn't sold on the dynamic. I wasn't sure if they like I believed it or not. I was kind of like, I had like a level of confusion, which is not great for a song that's supposed to be romantic. Because even if the couple's not dating, usually like a song can have like this, it's like acting. Like you can have like a great chemistry with one another, even though like it's not like fucking, even though you're not a real life couple. I mean, the thing that comes to the top of my head, even though it was a movie, is you look at Shallow from A Fucking Star Is Born. Like, that's supposed to be like this romantic fucking song, and the chemistry fucking pops out of the fucking speakers.
Right.
And I'll give you another example. Now, again, I'm only thinking of songs that were real life couples. That song, My Favorite Part by Mac Miller with Ariana Grande from The Divine Feminine. Mm-hmm. Amazing, because the chemistry, again, they were actually dating, so it was a different story. Of course, I'm blanking out on of songs.
Those are two great. Those are two really terrific.
Now, Gaga and Cooper would be the best example I could think of because they were not a real life couple, but that was attached to
another really great one. And I don't know if these two are dating, but as far as the chemistry is concerned, not the last one, but the first Daniel Caesar album, Freudian, he has a song with Kali Uchis called Best Part. Or no, is it her? What, you know that song Best Part?
No, I don't think it was Kali Uchis, but I could be wrong.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, you would imagine these two are gonna see the altar.
Oh, I'll give you a great example of a fucking song that are not a real couple. I actually mentioned to you last night when we were talking. Staring at the Sun, Post Malone and SZA.
Yep.
Terrific fucking chemistry on that song.
Yep.
This song but it wasn't like notably bad. I'm just not sure. Like, I'm not sure if it was there, which honestly might be worse. Cause just like,
it's about a failing relationship. So maybe that works in his favor.
Perhaps.
I really want to know what your opinion was on two songs in particular.
Okay.
The first one is Fetus, which features one of my favorite groups, Injury Reserve.
Yeah.
What did you think of that really like dusty record scratching kind of vinyl-y beat? And also, what was your take on the chemistry between the rappers?
I was intrigued because Injury Reserve I know is often like a hardcore group, and I was kind of like, but this song isn't really hardcore. It's actually pretty fucking. I mean, it has like an ominous quality to it, but it's not really like intense at all. I thought the pairing was pretty good.
Fantastic. I really like when they work together with Amine. They have a song on Injury Reserve's last album that I thought went way harder than this one.
Yeah. I think that's the only time I've heard Amine. I think there's an example of again because I did hear the last Injury Reserve album. So
that fucking song, it's called Jailbreak the Tesla.
Oh yeah, of course.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
That they went ahead and like recorded like the engine of an actual Tesla and used it as the fucking chorus.
I didn't realize that.
You've heard the song before.
I've heard the song before, but I didn't realize it was the actual Tesla engine. I don't know what a fucking Tesla sounds like. I don't hang out. I don't hang out with people that got Teslas.
So yeah, there's and then my other thing is like the song Riri, like I brought up, which is my favorite record in the entire project. What was your thoughts on that? I noticed you kind of skipped around it.
Yeah, I thought it was like I did allude to it a few minutes ago, but I will humor you and answer it again. But I thought it was a very like smooth, nice poppy song. Like it kind of reminded me of Drake actually.
Okay.
Like, it was kind of cheesy, nice falsetto. It worked. It's funny because that was a song I heard people on the internet complain the most about besides Mama.
What was their criticism?
I think they were very I thought the reasons I just stated why I liked it is why they didn't like it because it was corny and had a falsetto.
Well, that's I feel like he's done that multiple times within the last couple of projects, and that's what people like about him.
I don't. It wasn't clicking with the people on the infallible internet that I saw.
All right. Did you notice did you like the parts where you had that dude talking with at the end of each song? It was almost like a thread of just like introspective advice.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see that's the thing. I didn't really notice. I thought that was weird. What was kind of weird, the Kobe song where he's talking about how much the death of Kobe fucked him up. Because I mean, like, I think a lot of people, particularly that are in our age bracket, I mean, if you watch basketball, I mean, Kobe was like Kobe. Our era was more Kobe than LeBron.
Right.
So I think Kobe made a huge impact on people's life. But what was weird was was that Amine talking or was it somebody else?
That was actually an upcoming comedian that I really enjoy. He has a Netflix thing, but his name is Jack Knight. He's an up-and-coming stand-up comic. That's he's on along the same lines as like a Gerard Carmichael.
Oh, so he's like really like deadpan and like dark.
Oh no, I just meant in terms of like.
In terms of popularity, I was gonna say, if he's like Gerard, I fucking love Gerard Carmichael's comedy. So again, very like very very dark, but he has like such an easygoing delivery that it makes it really funny. Right. But what I thought was because it was interesting to hear somebody contextualize like what Kobe's death like made like resonated and how it like made them like change, like realize like I'm gonna like start taking my life more seriously and try to get my life more in order.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Kobe's mantra was just he would just like work his ass off. I mean, he would outwork like everybody. So, but it was interesting because I had not heard someone take that like using like that to like Kobe's death. It's like inspire like more like, oh, I need to grow up. Like I'm gonna start like managing my money more. So that was interesting and strange. But in terms of the like interlude, I don't know. Honestly, it didn't really like it didn't really matter to me one way or the other. They were just kind of there.
You're just kind of there. Okay.
Yeah, I barely even like noticed they were present.
I thought the stuff at the end about the grapefruit I thought was pretty interesting.
Was that was on the last song, right?
Before the last song.
My Reality, yes. Yeah, so in between Fetus and My Reality.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting insight because I think it shows a lot of times that like a lot of like the younger audience or the younger generation, under 25, people often get pinned as like not really having a lot of insight into the future like that or what really matters or what they value. So it was kind of nice to see someone be prove them wrong.
I got you. I got you.
So yeah.
But I'll say like last couple things I would say. I did like. I think he does some clever references here and there. Like on Bird in the first song, he makes a fucking Lost in Translation reference that's very fucking subtle.
Yeah, very, very subtle.
Very subtle.
I didn't catch it till I went back and listened to the lyrics.
Because this is the first time I heard it, I thought I was like hallucinating. I'm like, yo, did he just name check Lost in Translation?
I heard the Coppola at the end of the bar, but then the next.
Because when you think Coppola, because you're thinking Francis Ford usually, because Sofia Coppola kind of like she had Lost in Translation that she really didn't have a whole hell of a lot after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, yo, because Lost in Translation is considered to be a classic. I mean, I've seen it's a pretty decent movie. But I was just like, whoa, shit, Lost in Translation reference. Like, that was clever. Didn't see that one coming. And then he made I think it was either on Roots or Can't Decide when he started talking about the Matt Barnes Derek Fisher fight.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
When he talks about he says Malice in the Palace.
Yeah. Oh no, he like name checked like a bunch of like great basketball fights. Now Malice in the Palace to me is one of the greatest moments in sports history. Yeah. If you're not familiar with Malice in the Palace, it was basically a gigantic brawl that took place at the Palace in Auburn Hills in Auburn Hills in Michigan, where the Pistons play. Pistons, Pacers, a guy from the Pacers, Ron Artest, whose nickname is Meta World Peace. There's also a Meta World Peace reference in there, which is fucking terrific.
Immediately following it.
Which is amazing. And basically, my man's laying on the they all start fighting. He's trying to calm down, laying down on the scorer's table. Then a fan throws something at him, and then all hell breaks loose. They start fighting people. They start fighting fans in the stands. People are throwing chairs. Someone gets tackled. There was chokeholds. It was insane. I remember, like, literally other players going into the fans, like, fighting fans. It was insane. Insane. And then Ron Artest felt compelled to change his name to Meta World Peace a couple years later to try to get people to forget about that. And it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, I didn't know that was the reason behind the name change.
It kind of was, yeah. Because he's like, man of peace. Meta World Peace, baby. And then it was funny because after he was in the NBA, he then went and played in China for a year, and he changed his name to Panda's Friend.
That's amazing.
Terrific. And then the Derek Fisher, do you know the Derek Fisher Matt Barnes thing?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I will try to, this is very quick. So Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher used to play together.
Okay.
But Matt Barnes got divorced and Derek Fisher started dating Matt Barnes' ex-wife. So at the time, Matt Barnes was not too happy, did not want Derek Fisher around his kids.
Oh.
So, because he's like, I don't want this man there. Like, because he was still pissed off because like it was one of his best friends betrayed. He felt it was a betrayal. He didn't want him around the kids.
I understand.
So I don't remember the geography thing, but basically one of his kids reached out to him and said he's at the house. So Matt Barnes then hopped in his car and drove. I'm not sure if it was a northern to southern California situation. So like LA to San Francisco. I don't remember which one was which, but he drove 6 hours to one of those places and went to the house and beat his ass. He just went and he like got in and they just like he fought Derek Fisher. Apparently now they're on great terms. Like Derek Fisher is still with Matt Barnes' ex-wife, but apparently that fight like cleared the air. Now they're good. But they did get Matt Barnes. But Matt Barnes was notoriously, this man was psychotic. He was known to like chase guys to the locker room. He's one of the few, like he's like the epitome. Like the NBA, people say the NBA is like full of like fake tough guys. Matt Barnes is one of the few guys. Oh no, you do not want to fuck with Matt Barnes. He will happily beat your ass.
Oh, that's amazing.
But that was cool. That was a funny ass reference. And the last option.
Did you like him saying he assaults Steve Harvey for mispronouncing his name?
Yes, That made me laugh too. Because anytime, not nice to insult Steve Harvey because Steve Harvey sucks and can't talk. That's nice. One last thing I have to say. So the song Roots.
Okay.
Pretty good song. I have two observations though that are just that kind of deterred the song for me. First off, JID. Speaking of Kodak Black, JID sounds like Kodak Black singing on that song.
Does he?
If you've heard Kodak Black's last album, Dying to Live, where he starts singing more, it sounds like that. Particularly a song called Transgression. His cadence like reminds me of Kodak Black singing, and it was very distracting. Secondly, Charlie Wilson, obviously a legend. My first exposure to Charlie Wilson, and this kind of ruined the image of Charlie Wilson for me. Remember that Snoop Dogg song Signs with Justin Timberlake?
No.
Okay.
I thought you were going to reference a different Charlie Wilson feature.
So Charlie Wilson was on the song Signs, which I went and listened to. And Charlie Wilson basically says about 4 words of the song. And I just remember the music video. It's a terrible song. It was on, I think it was on the album Drop It Like It's Hot, fucking R&G Rhythm and Gangsta. But I remember that shit was like, this song played like, I was in middle school when this song came out. It just popped, like they played it like every middle school dance. But I remember like Timberlake basically like, his voice is so high and the mixing is so bad you can't understand what he's saying. But Charlie Wilson is funny because he has like 3 words. But I remember the music video. He's just wearing this like really like cheap looking like pimp suit. And I just imagine, and the combination of, I'd have that image of him like wearing a bad like pimp suit. And then he's always sounds like he's recording. His voice is so like low in volume that he always sounds like he's in the same room as the mic, but he's like 15 feet away from the mic and they're having like a hard time picking him up. So I'm kind of viewing him as like the R&B version of Nav on the Yosemite verse, except he's not in a cave. His voice is just really low. And I'm sorry, like, I can't take Charlie Wilson seriously. I don't know if this shit's good or bad because I'm laughing too hard because he just sounds like, he's just like, dude, like, why are you so far? Why is your voice so low?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Was he incoherent on that first listen for Roots?
Not necessarily. Much more coherent. No, that's the thing. He doesn't really have a problem with coherence. It's just a matter of Timberlake was the one I said was incoherent with that song. But Charlie Wilson is just more like, yo, why are you so low, dude? Like the rest of the track is so much fucking higher, and then it's just like habba hubba habba, and then it's just like what? Like why are you so low, man? Like,
I don't know.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Turn his volume up, or get closer to the microphone, man, or whatever the hell. I'm very confused. So that song, like, I got distracted. So the song itself could be great. I was like Amine's verse is very good, but then I get the rest of the song. I'm just like, ah.
Well, it's great because it follows the rhetoric that was presented in the Kobe interview.
In the Kobe song, yeah.
Which is all about growth and what we can do to kind of like be better as people, and it relates that image to a plant.
Yeah.
And nature. So I thought that was kind of clever. But what would you say? What would you rate this if you had to give it a letter grade?
I give it a B. I mean, I think it's generally a good record, rarely great, but consistently solid. And I think this, I'll be very excited to see where Amine goes from here because I think he has the potential to be great. He's just not quite there yet.
Okay, yeah, I would give it a B as well. I would have loved to see more songs like Woodland or Riri, just kind of more like happier stuff that we were kind of getting on that second record on 1.5. I mean, for God's sakes, so many fucking bangers on that second record.
I think I'd like to see. Yeah, I think I'd like to see him develop the pop rap sound more, and I'd like to see him develop the more industrial sound more. I think Pressure to My Palms like indicates something like he could be more aggressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what I'd like to see from him. But he has an intriguing, diverse skill set, and I think that will suit him well moving forward.
Right. It presents him with many lanes that he can follow.
Absolutely. And versatility is not the most common thing in the hippity hop world. So anytime an artist has it, it's a great tool that you can use to become great, man. Reach your potential. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that was the end of this episode of As We Proceed. Do you have any final thoughts before we log off, my friend?
It was great to do this again, and it was great that you actually listened to the album this time.
Yeah. I'm sure that was a breath of fresh air for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes, it was a nice return to normal.
Yeah.
Well, breath of fresh air, no, because usually you listen to the album. It was just it was the unaired.
It's good enough that I can get through it.
No, yeah, well, that's that's always that. But hey, dude, I hated Kamikaze even though I listened to it once. Okay, I still made it through once.
I'll give you that.
So I got.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll talk. We'll go ahead and sign off from here. This was the As We Proceed Rona Reboot Sessions, and we'll talk to you soon.
Indeed.